So tonight I want to talk to you around the issue of the incense of prayer out of Revelation chapter 5, verses 8 and 9, and then also Revelation chapter 8, verses 1 to 5. So we are going to look at Revelation chapter 5, verses 8 and 9, and then we're also going to look at Revelation chapter 8, verses 1 to 5. Now, I want to read Revelation 5, 8 to 9. It says the following. Now, when he had taken the scroll, talking about the Lamb, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each having a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. So the prayers of the saints are compared to golden bowls full of incense. And they sang a new song saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain and have redeemed us to God by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation." And then Revelation 8, verses 1 to 5 states, when he opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Then another angel, having a golden censer, came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints ascended before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and threw it to the earth. And there were noises, thundering, lightnings, and an earthquake. I want to just draw your attention to a few thoughts before we pray. These verses, they tell us of an astonishing impact of prayers having ascended from the earth and arrived at its objective in heaven. Each time the angels move to a new dimension of the progressive unfolding of the end time events, the prayers of the sons of God are offered as incense before the throne of God. So incense is used in imagery, biblical imagery, that describes for us the prayers of the sons of God. It is clear that utterances in strong governmental prayer from the earth help create the heavenly atmosphere necessary in which God acts with mighty power. The prayers offered in heaven as incense in golden bowls represent the authority of our participation in the end time unfolding and the reality of our partnership with God in unfolding of the end time events. So, as prayers rise, it's caught up in golden bowls in heaven. It is representative of our authority, but also our partnership with the throne. These verses in the book of Revelation bring a further dimension of definition to our understanding tonight, to the mysterious dynamics of prayer, and take its governmental power into the cosmic realms of the outworked global purposes of God. Prayer then is a direct communication between 2 realms, heaven and earth, and is much more than simply words uttered upon the earth. We see a strong prayer cooperation between the Lord's purposes and human interaction in prayer upon the earth. There is interaction between earth and heaven, a synchronization, as it were, of our prayers on earth with the demands of the throne in heaven as the officiating angel in the throne collects our prayers in golden bowls. We see the activation of angelic administration in the realm of spirit. So this type of prayer that I'm talking about activates angelic intervention and angelic administration on behalf of those that governmentally pray. It is an intensification of the war of the throne in the jurisdictions of the earth. The prayers of the sons of God ascends unto the one who is seated upon the throne. After divine scrutiny and the approval of him who sits on the throne, these prayers are mixed, intermingled, and tempered with the fire that comes from the altar. And the fire depicts the consuming judgment and justice of God. It is the prayers of the sons of God mixed with the fire of God's holy indignation, which are hurled back upon the earth. These hurled back, tempered with God's holy indignation, governmental prayers, activates divine activity in the jurisdictions of the earth. There are voices, thundering, lightnings, and earthquakes. The physical occurrences in the earth are visible signs of our planet in the convulsions of the perplexity of the end time. And they all have their substance in the words lifted up to the heavens as sons of God begin to governmentally pray. These divine activities precede but initiate the trumpet voices of the Lord's coming judgment upon the earth. Every time we see trumpets being blown, it speaks of prophetic and apostolic agencies that begins to proclaim, decree and declare the doctrine of Christ into the regions of the earth that now is under the scrutiny of heaven. So as prayers ascend, the wrath of God descends upon inaccurate systems upon the earth. We see a collaboration of the prayers of the sons of God, angelic administration, and the activation of apostolic and prophetic voices to cause the judgment of the throne upon the earth. Inasmuch as God is the judge, he uses and employs the representation of apostolic and prophetic ministry through whom he passes his judgments within the territories of the earth. So, when you study Exodus 30, from verse 34 to 38, it speaks about how this incense was produced under the old covenant. Then you will learn that it was mixed together with deliberate skill according to the art of the apothecary or the art of the perfumer. This incense was reserved only for God. It was holy unto the Lord, according to verse 37. The people were forbidden to use the sweet-smelling incense for personal use. Death was stipulated as the required punishment if that incense was spilt on the skin of people or anointed people with it. So these prayers that the incense represented in the Old Covenant could not be selfishly manipulated for personal gain and ambition. Now in Psalm 141 verse 2, David states, "May my prayer be set before you like incense. May the lifting up of my hands be like the evening sacrifice." So all governmental prayer that we are doing tonight are never prayed from a perspective that is very personal, that is me and my and I, but it is prayer prayed out from a sincere desire to serve the will and the purposes of our God in the earth. In other words, these are prayers with which the saints of God governs the territories of the earth. As we cry before God, our prayers rise like incense before the Lord. The officiating, administrating angel in heaven catches up these prayers of the saints in golden bowls. Then he goes to the altar in front of the throne and mixes our prayers with the fire from the altar. But then those very prayers mixed with the fire of God's holy indignation is thrown back upon the earth as we partnership with God through prayer. So God then brings judgment upon satanic systems and inaccurate systems of men as true sons of God begins to cry before the Lord, and their voices are raised up like the proverbial incense before God's throne. This incense was also spilt upon the golden altar of incense, and it also was used as a means to fumigate the most holy place. So as the veil got opened up by the high priest, this incense was burning and gave off a smoke, and he entered the presence having that smoke as a covering mantle as he walked into the most holy place. So tonight, our prayers is like this sweet smelling incense, an aroma that fumigates the most holy place. And it's prayers beyond the veil. It's governmental prayer. It is the Ark of the Covenant brought into full view with the golden altar of incense. The gold of the altar of incense in relationship with the gold of the Ark of the Covenant. And that Ark and that golden altar of incense has now, as Hebrew writer says in Hebrews chapter 9, that altar is now positioned beyond the veil in direct correlation and association and relationship with the ark. And the ark speaks of government, of rule, of kingdom, of authority, of power, of global unfolding of the purposes of God. So in that sense, our prayers are governmental because it's now been brought into partnership with a governmental piece of furniture that is representative of God's throne, God's authority, God's power, God's rule, God's dominion, God's kingdom in the earth. Having said all of that, I want us now to pray for the issues that is stated in our chat there tonight.